Hello, Assalamu alaikum everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Huma Haider. I'm a certified hypnotist and I also work with children. I'm a pediatric hypnotist as well, and welcome everyone here to the Muslim Kids Expo. I'm so excited because today's topic is very close to my heart. It's about emotional and mental well-being of children and how we can help teach our children regulate the emotions. And with me are our beautiful panelists, Naila, Saeed, that we met yesterday. She is absolutely amazing and she has been working with children for over 20 years. She started with a small daycare in her basement, and now, mashallah, after 20 years, she has over 30 centers all over across Ontario. So welcome, Naila. Then we already met Uzma, who's absolutely amazing. Thank you for that speech. Lots of information in there, and she's an NLP master coach as well, and she has over 20 years of working with children as well, and she's a program director for a nonprofit as well. So welcome, Uzma. And then we have my very dear friend Erum. Zehra and I go way, way, way back, and mashallah, she is the founder of MuslimMoms.Ca. It's a community portal with nearly 100,000 members, and she I'm not even going to read this off the script. She is, mashallah, such an inspiring leader. She has helped so many people, so many new immigrants, especially women who are lost. She's helped them, guided them, supported them, and she still continues to do so even today. And they all are just wonderful, wonderful human beings. A powerhouse we have here right now. So welcome everybody and thank you. So let's listen to what these beautiful ladies have to say. All right, Uzma, you touched on something about, hold on, let me just, the language patterns that we use unknowingly with our children. So before you answer that, let me just give you an example. When I was training for one of my certifications, my mentor, she said, you know, the language we use with our children is so important. So for example, you know how kids keep forgetting things right at the door, so about, you know, first thing in the morning, and you're like, oh, you know, you're just like so super anxious yourself, the anxiety is like through the roof, and you're like, okay, what did you forget now, right? So she said, if you switch that language to, hey, that's awesome, what did you remember to bring? That just completely changes the whole confidence, and that is so important once they're emotional and mental well-being of children and how to raise confident kids. This is one of the ways. And so can you just shine some light or give us some more ideas on how the language we use can actually help or not help or support the children today and their confidence especially?
Thank you, Huma, for this beautiful question. And I cannot say like more beautifully than you mentioned that how it worked and how you understood the, like, you know, what I meant about reframing, the first point which I discussed in my presentation. It is all about just reframing and change the perspective. Rather than focusing on the negatives, if we try to focus on positive, it's a game changer. One more interesting thing which I can share here, that our unconscious mind doesn't process negative. And no and don't. Unfortunately, most of our conversations with our children, being mothers or being teachers as well, that like starts with no and don't. Don't do this. Don't go there. Don't touch that. However, if we turn that, let's explore it together. What is it? Do you want to touch that? Okay, let's find out. Do you know? This is something maybe not appropriate for you. So rather than saying for a little child, if we are saying, maybe they will not understand. So we show with the with our practical ways. So I can give you one example that when when I see a little child and the ones who are approaching towards the hot cup of coffee, and you want to stop that, how about before they do that act, being an adult we do understand, how about we touch that coffee mug and do this, and the child get the idea that, you know, this is something which I shouldn't be going forward to. So this is one example of teaching children what things not to be done. If you want to stop a child from something, this is a better way. And reframing the language. Like rather than children who are making noise, rather than saying, hey, don't make so much noise, why you are too loud? We can always shift our language into a very positive manner by saying, can we keep our volume, like indoor volume, can we maintain the volume?
Like inside voice.
Yeah.
Inside voice.
Indoor voice. And we also, like if they are running, we can always say, rather than saying, don't run, we can always say, let's walk. So change, you are addressing the same action or behavior, but changing the language will help the children to process that message in a better way, because the moment we say no to our children, their brains shut off. They don't process anything. So sometimes, let me be very, very honest with you, sometimes it happens, we are shouting on our children, trying to make the point, and what the child can see, only someone with a furious face and just going blah blah blah.
And then that's how they remember you, right? That's how they eventually remember you. Because my mom was always angry and yelling and always a no.
Yes.
First question, no.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I totally agree with that, and that is what we need to do. Change our language.
Beautiful, thank you. Erum, I'm going to come to you. You've been running Muslim Moms for a long time.
Since 2013.
Wow, since 2013. Okay, so, and I know that there have been a lot of posts on the group about certain concerns, some about relationships, about marriage. What do you mostly hear the challenges that moms face raising kids in a country like Canada?
I think that there are obviously a lot of challenges, especially because we are dealing with new immigrants. So leaving your country and then coming here is in itself a very difficult situation to experience. And after that, I think what the parents are worried about is how are our children going to adjust to the new environment, while also retaining what is important from back home or from our beliefs. So that would be religion and culture. And the reason why I bring up culture, because there is also a question mark on, okay, why are you putting so much importance on culture when you've already left the country where the culture was practiced, and now you're in a new country? So the reason why culture is also important, because it forms a part of your identity as an individual, and it's important for children to be proud of whoever they are. So yes, they are Canadians because you've brought them into this country, but they should also identify with your home country where you came from, and be proud of that heritage too. That is the heritage that they're going to bring. Then eventually they'll learn the heritage that they will experience in Canada too. But they've already had that history, and that should also be considered important. So one thing is the culture part, and then of course the religion part. So they want their children to be, alhamdulillah, be practicing Muslims, really identify as Muslims, be proud of their religion as well. And I think that is one of the major concerns, and how they can constantly and actively help their children do that.
Beautiful, thanks. Naila, so we're facing a lot of challenges with moms and stuff. What do you think the schools, because you're running a school for the last 20 odd years, mashallah say, schools, mosques and our community, how do you think they can support these challenges, and how do you think we can raise confident Muslim kids?
That's definitely is very important questions, and considering in today's scenario where we are facing a lot of Islamophobia cases, and we have seen what's around us being happening region to region, city to city. Being a mother and an educator, what I would emphasize, and I would definitely, with all my experience in being a mother, being an educator last 28 years, foundation in the house is very important. That needs to be laid down with love, care, open communication, and leading towards the Islamic values to be pride, generating that pride towards their faith. So they need to be the kids whom you're not shielding, you're not protecting, but incorporating and leading towards these strong personalities, making them developing critical thinking, open communication, and be pride in their own faith. So when you're raising that kind of children, and when you are yourself setting an example towards it, then when they face challenges in the schools, they're able to bring those to you back. They're not afraid of talking about what is happening, because for us is number one, the kids are able to talk to you if they're facing and seeing those things in the schools. Very young age. So they should bring it. What they should talk to you, they should communicate to you daily basis, even about a story, about any topic, anything that can click or ring a red flag or ring a bell in their mind that it's not what I have been taught, or this is not what I have been the environment, and they can openly communicate with you. So just an example, like to bring it to this, my child is, the youngest one is 13 years old, and she just came last year to me that, Mama, I need to talk to you. I said, okay, when your child comes to you, no matter how important work you're doing, you have to keep it aside. And with full attention, you have to sit down and listen, because they are the most important persons, most important people and entity in your life than anything else. No matter how important deal is pending on me to take care of it, no. The child is the most important for me to take care. I have to keep it. And I said, okay, let's listen to you. What it is? Say, Mama, I have a concern. I am not fasting, but few of my friends are fasting at that age, that they're fasting every day. And they have been kept in the same room where we are eating, and they are fasting. And they are in the same lunchroom. And I feel so bad. They're my friends, and they're, alhamdulillah, very good, and they're fasting every day, and they are in the same lunchroom. And what can we do about it? And I am a bit hesitant to take it to the principal and to take it to, or talk to the teacher. I don't have that confidence right now. I want to talk to you. I said, I am glad that you brought it, and you are really have that concern that your friends are fasting and they are in the same lunchroom, and where everybody else is in the same classroom, where everybody is eating their food and talking about, and they said even kids are talking about their food in front of them, what they're eating and all. So I was happy that she brought it to me, and then very next day I called to the principal, I talked, and they said, I'm happy you brought it to us, and we will make sure that these kids are put separately in a separate room, and we are going to take care. So these are the things, one thing that we have to make sure that the kids are open to us. Second thing, that second aspect of this that I would like to bring it, that as a Muslim parents, we have to be involved in the school council. How they're going to understand our side of it until unless we are engaged, we are participating in the process to make them understand our side of it. So we need to be active in the schools, we need to be in the school councils, we need to educate them as much as we can from our side.
Beautiful, thank you. So I love the fact that you've kept this open communication with your children. You're approachable. They feel seen and heard, you know, when you put everything aside and you're like, okay, you know what, you are important. So coming to that point, Uzma, I'm going to ask you, can you share with us some daily rituals or something that we can do that as moms, as families, we can implement, that children are actually heard and being seen, and that can also, this helps raise their confidence as well when they feel, I am somebody, you know, you make them feel that way. So anything that we can, or, yeah, go ahead.
No, I thank you very much for this question, and I second what Naila just mentioned, that to give importance to your children. And it is not a rocket science. On everyday basis, there are so many things we do in our homes when the children are present. How about make them our partners? give them some tasks according to their age and their interest where they are helping us. So this kind of task or this kind of opportunity help them to feel valued, and they have a say in the house, they have a position and a role. So when you are working in the kitchen, if the child is coming to you and want your attention, yes, you are working, but at the same time your child also needs attention. So why not you engage the child with you? And that does not begin all of a sudden overnight. This has to be done from the very young age, or in fact, to be very honest, you can start anytime. Start giving them preference, start giving them value, start sitting with them, ask them what's going on. Just listen to them without criticizing, without interrupting and judging, so that they they can say out loud what is going on. This kind of confidence is only to be given by the parents, to be very honest, in the very early stage, that the child would come to you in every scenario, whether it's happiness or it's frustration and all that. They know that you are their safe haven, or you are the safe space for them to go to. And what can we do on regular basis that to develop that kind of bond? Reserve some time during the day to sit with them, either do any activity which they like to do, no matter what it is. Suppose I can give my example. When my daughter, she is 23 now, but when she was growing up, she liked to watch a specific show. And just to, give her the feeling that yes, I am with her. However, I did not any interest in that show, but I still managed to sit down with her, watch that show, communicated about that, what's going on, what we like, and what we do. And there we are. We have developed the bond with each other. It doesn't matter what medium you are going from or seeking for this, develop this kind of connection. And I also believe in connection before correction, because and that's what the Prophet Sunnah as well. Before the revelation, 40 years, what he had been doing, he was building connections with people. The same goes in our house as well. When we are dealing with our children, we have to develop that kind of safe connection with them, that they can be open up with everything, about everything with us, without any hesitation of being judged. On regular basis, you read them stories in the evening, maybe reserve some time, half an hour before bed, story, discussion, reflection, some duas together. Even I can give my example. I did one course with my own daughter, just to develop that kind of connection with her, that me and you are on the same page. I'm not something extraordinary. When you are in the learning phase, I'm in the learning phase too. So there are many things which we can do alongside with our children to develop that kind of connection, which help us to be, in a position where we are better supporting our children.
Yeah, I think offering them friendship.
Yes.
And that open communication is so important to build their confidence as well. And they know that, no matter what, mom's going to be there, or my family is always going to be there to support me, and that's their safety net. Do you agree? Yeah?
For sure. Can't agree more.
Okay, awesome. Okay, beautiful. So Erum, I know you deal with a lot of people, and Canada is beautiful, multicultural, it's a melting pot. Okay, so how do you feel that moms are managing raising confident kids in this part of the world?
I think that it is difficult because, again, if you are new in the country, confidence is a real struggle for you as well, because you are working so hard to make your own place here. Familiarize yourself with how things work. There is a huge culture shock as well. Things
huge.
Yeah.
When I came, things used to close by 9 p.m. I'm like, back home in Dubai, we used to leave the house around 9, 10 p.m. So that was one of my culture shocks.
Yeah. So it's so different from if you're from the Middle East, from Asia, and any parts of the world from there. Things work very differently over there. Even the climate. So the first thing is the parents themselves are going through so much struggle, and it's so hard for them to accommodate themselves and really adjust themselves in this environment and in the country. So then how are they going to ensure that the children are also confident? Because whatever your children become is a reflection of you, because they learn from you. You're constantly there as an example, a living, breathing example in front of them. It's not just what you say, it's how you behave every day. It's your thoughts, your I guess your
Actions.
insecurities,
Yeah, exactly.
and whatever that comes out in everyday action in front of them as a parent. And I would say that the most important thing is, first of all, to be aware of the impact that you're having on your children this way. Sometimes we don't realize it because we're so focused and so involved in what our problems are and how we are managing things that we forget what our children are perceiving from our actions and our behavior. So the number one thing is to be aware, and once you're aware, then you can actually try to change that into having a more positive impact on your children, and lead with confidence, because and the reason why it's not so hard is because, alhamdulillah, because we are Muslims, and for us being Muslims, our biggest value that will support us is our faith in Allah, which gives us the optimism to be able to do our best. So once we strengthen our faith, we are able to overcome any challenges, and that is also something that we need to teach our children. That not just recite du'as, not just read the Quran, but actually understand what is the main principle of Islam. Every surah in the Quran starts from Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, which means that Allah is compassionate. So Allah is always looking out for us, and Allah loves us, and we need to have our faith that Allah wants the best for us, and then we will also start behaving in the way that is the best for us, inshallah.
It's beautiful, yes. It's amazing how so okay, I don't want to get into this topic, but back home, or how we were raised, was to fear Allah. If you don't do this, you're gonna go in hellfire. But it's not that. It's how it's loving Him. It's the Uzma, please go on. Add on to that, you can.
Thank you. So I would, totally agree with Erum just mentioned, that we have to be role models. We have to show our level of confidence in the, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and what our children see, because we are role models. And we all know that actions speak louder than words. So when our children see us doing or behaving in a particular manner, definitely they will learn from us. And one more thing which I can add here is that sometimes you don't have to be very specific that these are the grounds on which we have to move on and all that. Sometimes only silent actions of yours. So I can give one example, it's a very tiny example. We teach our children don't lie, but if somebody knocks at the door and if you don't want to see, the same children, we are telling them, go tell mama is not home, dad is not home, right? Yeah. So the thing is, practice what you preach. So we have to understand, and we have to realize that being Muslim, we know that Allah is watching us, but at the same point, we should remember that our children are also watching us, and we are shaping them into whatever they will be one day, whatever they are observing us doing. So it is accountability comes to us as well, that yes, we have to make our things or our affairs straight in every aspect of our life, whether we are cooking, we are dealing with our clients, we are meeting our relatives, we are generally going to some
We're always
occasions
on
and all
the
that.
spotlight.
We are on the spotlight, and we have to be very cautious about each and every word we say, because children pick more even, as we even sometimes consider those things. So be mindful in all your affairs and all what you do.
Yeah, and to that point, I remember when the girls were younger, and I would have a very anxious morning, and I would notice that even they would be more anxious. So it's like my energy transferred to their energy. So it's very important to kind of breathe in, as you mentioned in your speech, and just relax, and then you'll see that change in you work inwards and you see the result outwards. And on that point, Naila, so when we don't, as sometimes we get so busy in our life that we don't notice if our child is going through something, they just become quiet, or they're always in their room, and we just keep asking them, what's wrong, nothing, I'm fine, and we just think, oh, they're just going through a teenage period, or what have you. So what do you think, with your experience that you have, what are some of the signs of stress, anxiety, and depression in children that parents and even educators can see, okay, this child is kind of going towards that?
Before I answer that, I would like to add one more point here, that definitely whatever has been heard, it's like how the foundation, and then we already know that Islamic values, how it encourages compassion, justice, respect, and these are all aligned with the diversity, with inclusion. So with multiculturalism in Canada, we can automatically end up with those things that we don't have to work towards it when we are laying the foundation. What already Islam has, that values that they encourages. And now coming to this mental health stigma that in our, especially in our community, that number one, we have to normalize it. How to get the sign at the early age when we see such, and we sometimes take it that, oh, it might be just a stressful day, or maybe phase, or maybe something, where in a lot of immigrant and family-based households, where there is a bigger trauma of unspoken trauma. Parents, they don't talk, whether it's a pressure of adjusting in a new culture, whether it's a struggle of adjusting in a new environment, or it's a pressure to succeed. So we take a lot of the things, or we just, no, I won't say ignore, but not focus, not try to dig in more. So as you mentioned, there could be a sign that the face is not as it used to be in a normal days. The first thing is, as a mother, as a parent, that we have to right away take that change on the appearance that we can notice. The second thing could be that they're saying, oh, not eating well, or maybe the favorite things even that you offer them, and they tell them, oh, that I'm not in a mood to eat. They are not able to sleep properly. They are not even focusing what you're talking about. Their body language, the way they are, you can get a lot of those signs that you can pick up right away.
So they're almost like they're shutting down and becoming quiet.
That could be one way, that they're shutting down and getting themselves, or the other could be they're not fully showing it, but there is a way that they are not comfortable, stressful, restless in some way that you can see, and those cannot just taken for granted that it's just a phase. So and I have to bring that example that my child was like, I think maybe 6-7 years of age, and she didn't get that confident to talk about certain things. And I saw when she's entering, because as soon as they enter, the first thing is to talk about, to say, oh, welcome them, oh, you're back, you're here in the house, oh, okay, how was your day, how did it happen, and all this. I'm in a habit of doing that. And if I'm not there, once I come back, the first thing is to call them, to talk to them. So when I see the face was a little different, she didn't say anything. I keep observing, and a day passed and 2 days passed, and there is a bit of a change in the behavior. And then when I just saw continuous pattern. I made her sit and say, is there something like you want to talk? How's your journey has been? How is the bus, that the driver, and everything that I can see specifically, the gym, the classrooms, any specific topic. Did they teach about social studies, because certain topics that they bring it. So I try to bring different aspects that she can, and the moment I say the bus, and the travel, because she was going through the transportations that the bus was coming to pick her up, and she said she was in kindergarten, I'm not able to fully recall, or grade 1, and she said, Mama, there's a boy in the bus who's making fun of me, of my name, and telling me that I'm ugly, and my name is very weird. And after 2 days of constant that, I'm able to get out of her that, because I knew something is there that's not right. And the moment she brought that's it. I talked to her, I calm her down, I explain that these things happen, and those are the kids also, but they must have learned, and they are also not that old, like they are the same age, but that's definitely not a good thing. So I immediately talked to the principal, talked to the bus driver. And what happened here, Huma, that after all those steps, it didn't change. The boys still bothered her. And that was hitting her self-esteem. For me, the one thing that I have always done in my life, that I have put my kids prior to anything else. Even if to the point that my oldest child, I will bring it here, that I have to change the school, because the teacher was not dealing appropriately to her personality, that I just told my husband that I don't know what I have to do, but I will change the school. But this one, what I did at that point, I pulled my child out of the school. I said, I will do homeschooling. I don't know how I'm going to do with my business, with all my commitment, but I'm not sending her, because that's hitting her self-esteem right now.
And bullying is a different topic altogether, and it definitely needs to be looked into further. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. Yeah.
I just want to add here what Naila just mentioned. To know what's going on in child's life, mother has to be mindful.
Yes.
You have to observe each and everything, because as she mentioned, that she was not like herself. And it's very, I wouldn't say very easy, but yes, it is possible for you being mom to judge and understand that, yeah, there must be something, and children take time, because we all have different personalities. Some children are, very outgoing, they are extrovert, and some introvert. So but it has nothing to do with that. You being mom or you being dad, do not try to find out what's going wrong, what's happening with your child. And yes, being compassionate, we will help our children to open up, because as she tried multiple things, she went above and beyond to find out there is something wrong with my child, what's happening, and there she found what was wrong.
And there are some children who just don't want to open up, no matter what channel you've opened up for communication.
She used to be very shy, and now she's just getting to that level and getting out. But I always tell that that's my foundation, 3 things that I have been from a very early age, and I try to showcase that 3 foundation in my life that have holded it tight: tawakkul, sabr, patience, and the 3rd thing is gratitude.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
setting an example of those 3 things and giving them to learn more and more and showcasing that.
It's beautiful, amazing. We can talk about mental health and emotional health in children all day, but we're going to wrap this up. Erum, I'm going to just ask you a final question, all 3 of you actually. What is that one advice that you can give to parents for the emotional and mental well-being of their children?
I think that's very, very important. And again, it starts with the parents. So it starts with the parents getting along with each other and communicating better, and looking after their own emotional well-being, and looking after each other's emotional well-being, and realizing that this is what's going to greatly impact their family and their children.
Love that. I love that. Yeah, it all
So
starts.
that's the first thing. That's the most
relationships.
important thing, that you cannot say, okay, let me just focus on my children. I'm fine, whatever, whatever I'm feeling, that doesn't matter. No, it's going to come out in some way or the other. You cannot put it at the back. Like they say, you cannot pour from an empty cup. First, you have to fill your cup as well.
And a lot of people, a lot of moms feel mom guilt when doing that. So please, if you're listening, do not. Self-care is not selfish. I want to stress that. Even if you take 30 minutes a day just for yourself to be who you are, please do so, because to Erum's point, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Yeah, and I want to add more to this. We are very lucky that we're living in a country like Canada where there is a lot of support available. And there are a lot of programs that offer free counseling. And you can,
some of your community members offer some support as well, mental health support
yeah,
for moms?
so there are different kinds. Like there are sometimes when people are requesting specifically for Muslim therapists, and there is, I think, a group of therapists who specifically, Muslim therapists who offer free therapy. But there are a lot of other non-profit organizations who also offer that, and you should definitely go and take advantage of that. And these therapy sessions are free and they are online, so you can take them from home, and they are for an extended time. You can have them for 16 weeks, 20 weeks, 32 weeks, and that can really help. Speaking to a professional about your mental well-being and your emotional well-being, that will really help. So you have to take those resources and use them for yourself, and then because it's going to benefit your children and your family as well.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Erum, for sharing that. Uzma?
So I second what Erum said, but I just want to add here, everything begins with the acknowledgement and awareness. Sometimes we go through emotional challenges, but we hold ourselves back. How I would look like in the community if people get to know that I'm going through this stress or this depression or this emotional challenge, and maybe it is coming from the parenting or the spousal or maybe workplace stress and all that. So the thing is, first thing you need to do with your own self, that is the acknowledgement of your feelings. And as we teach our children that they say their emotions, they validate their emotions, they name their emotions. The same goes for us as well. Being moms, we go through a lot of challenges, but unless we recognize our challenges ourselves, how can we support them? So the chain begins, the cycle starts with recognition, understanding, and then having the courage. It's okay. There is no shame in acknowledging your feelings, acknowledging your stresses and challenges, and go and seek out for help. As Erum mentioned, there are so many support available in the community. Why not? But you are the one who have to take the first step.
Acknowledging, I think being aware of it is the most important. Thank you, Uzma.
So I would say that two very important thing is parents' mental well-being and their relationship. Those two have to be very strong. And then the 5 foundation that I would say is love, respect, connection, communication, and faith. When you stick to these 3, nothing can go wrong. Jazakallah.
Can you repeat those 5, please?
Love, respect, connection, communication, and faith. That's the foundation.
That's beautiful.
Stick to that, nothing can go wrong then. Jazakallah.
Awesome.
Is it working? Yeah. That is something that I think the parents really constantly need to practice with each other.
All right, wonderful. That was amazing. I think the takeaway is communication, open communication, recognizing your own emotions, and then obviously being that role model for our children, for their emotional and mental well-being. That's amazing, beautiful. Jazakallah, everyone. Sister Erum, Sister Uzma, and Sister Naila. Thank you. That was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sister Huma. You were an amazing moderator.
Thank you so
for
much.
that.
I appreciate it. Does anyone have any questions for us? Myra, do you have a question for us? Okay, beautiful. All right, thank you everyone for being here and listening to us. We're actually live on my Facebook as well, so that's great. Alrighty, thank you so much, Jazakallah.
Truly grateful for all our respected panelists and moderator, mashallah. Oh, you want a group photo? Okay, fine, Sister Zehra, sure.
Can we have the honor of taking the picture with you? Thank you.